What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tri-City Pitmasters. You're with Pitmaster John today, and today we're getting smoked. A couple weeks ago I did a tail of 2 chuck roast, but today we got a tail of 2 brisket flats. Alright, so went by the local Albertsons grocery store and I got lucky at one, and the second one not so lucky. Because of COVID and everything that's going on, it's kind of hit or miss on the quality of meat you can get and the size of the meat that you can get. So the first Albertsons I went into, they had one whole packet brisket intact, but I don't need the whole thing today. I just needed the flat. So I asked the guy, I said, hey, can you cut this for me? The guy said, sure. So thank you, Albertson. And then I had to find another one. That's all that they had left. So I went to another one, and it was a local Albertsons down here in Orange, and they gave me a smaller cut. And as you can see, it comes in this container, so it's almost like this one was already pre-cut and shipped out this way to that Albertsons store. This cut right here, it's just above 2 pounds. It's extremely lean, so I think today we're gonna have to inject this one. And this one over here on my right, as you can see, it's got a lot of fat content in it already, and marbling. We got a nice layer of fat that cuts through the center. I don't think I'll trim too much off of this cut here, but I'll be able to really tell once I get them opened up and we start diving into both cuts. So check in with us in a little bit and we'll open up these packages. The Cosmo Q Smokehouse Reserve Blend and the Butcher's Barbecue Beef Injection. And I tell you what, if this wasn't raw meat right now, I'd probably take a little taste of dip my finger in there, because boy does it smell good. All right, so we've let these rest for a little bit. Both pits have been started. We're gonna smoke with cherry and peach today. Both wood chunks are coming from the Woodshed OC. So we're gonna use our combination of our very own rub. It's called Brea Beef. And it's a very hearty, tasty, savory, smoky type of rub that we've put together. So that's what we're gonna put onto this guy. And I'm just gonna rub this on, and I'm gonna put a nice generous coating of it on this front side. This one's done, and we're gonna go ahead and continue on to the next. And so what we're gonna do next is, for this larger brisket flat, we're gonna go ahead and spray down with some duck fat spray as a natural binder for this front side, and that's a pretty good amount. I'll just go ahead and let that sit. And then we're gonna season with the Big Papa Smokers Cash Cow Beef Rub, and then we're gonna top it off with that Money Championship rub. And I just wanna make sure that I'm gonna get all sides, and as you can see, it's got that nice big chunks of onion in there, and garlic, and white pepper. We're just gonna give it a nice light coating on all sides. Make sure I get this side here as well. And that duck fat spray really gives us a nice coat of a bind to get this seasoning to stick. It's about that time. Both smokers are now pumping out some nice blue translucent smoke. And as you can see, we got this nice red looking smoked brisket with that Brea beef seasoning. It has that guajillo pepper in it that really likes to lighten it up. So we're gonna go ahead and set this on. We started both fires, both pits with the minion method. Both pits are smoking with, ooh yeah, peach and cherry from the Woodshed here in Orange County. Now I'm gonna close this lid, smoking at 250. And I'm just gonna take this piece, take them right over to the Summit here. Summit's also smoking at about 260 maybe, which is also perfect. I like to smoke brisket right at about 250. Water pan in here. We're using lump charcoal. And once again, we are using peach and cherry from the Woodshed OC. All right, guys, welcome back. We're about an hour into this cook, and usually when I do briskets, I like to rehydrate the meat about every hour or so. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're right at about 265 on the Kamado Joe Jr. Oh, look at that. We're starting to plump up pretty good. It's naturally already pretty juicy, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of water. Get it on the back side, and that should be good. And we look pretty darn good after hour one. Let's head on over to the Summit. We put some sausage on there. We got some Polish kielbasa and sausage from the Delicacy down the street, and some Farmer John here. And this is the the other one, and look at that. We still got a pretty good amount of moisture on there. And this is just water. We're just spritzing with water for this cook and rehydrating that way. We still got a nice amount of moisture here. We're about 2 hours into this cook, and before I spritz, I want to kind of check temp and see where we're at before I wrap. God, that does look good, and the aroma coming off this piece is phenomenal. So we're about 160. Usually you'd want to wrap at this point, but I'm not that happy with the bark yet. I want to let it go a little bit longer. And so to kind of speed up that process and tighten up that meat and give it a stronger bark and a darker color, I'm gonna go ahead and spray with a little bit more water. Ooh, wow. There we go. We got the mist back on. There we go. Spritz that down a little bit and let that tighten back up. So we checked temp on that one. Let's go ahead and check this guy out here. I mean, the moisture on this is just phenomenal, and the butcher did a really good job of giving us a little bit of that point, as you can see at the front part of this flat. So let's go ahead and check temp here, and we're right at 150, so we're right on track. We're about 10 degrees behind on the other. Here, I'll just give this a spritz. I mean, we still do have some good moisture, but you know what they say, the wetter the better. We just checked temp, and we looked at the bark on this thing, and you know what? Looks like we're about ready to wrap, so I'm gonna pull this guy. I'm gonna put him right onto some butcher paper. Check that out. Oh my gosh, how does that look? Pretty gosh darn good. So we're gonna get a nice double wrap of butcher paper here. I'm gonna swaddle this bad boy like a diaper, but first, I am gonna use some of this injection liquid that we used on the other one. Just a nice little coat over the top. And you know what? We're right at 208. It's time. It's time to pull this little flat, let them rest. Let them really reabsorb all that juice from that injection that we put in this foil. And we'll check them out in about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of open up this foil and we're gonna kind of peel it back a little bit and let it kind of exude some of that heat. We don't want to overshoot that 210 temperature, but we also don't want to let it drop in temperature. So we're gonna kind of open it up a little bit and let it sit and rest. Welcome back. First flat is off the grill. The Kamado Joe Jr. kept temp really well. And we had this Texas crutch going on, and oh my gosh, look at that. That originally started off as a 2-pound flat, and now looks like about a maybe 1.5 pound flat. I'm gonna go ahead and just drizzle that over the top of it. That's the braising liquid and all the fat and juice that came out of it. Oh yeah, I know. Everybody here is probably licking their chops looking at that. I'm gonna take this first piece off right here. As you can see, got a good smoke ring, consistent smoke ring. That's a delicious brisket. Oh my God. Smell it.
Smell that. Let me see. Put it on the camera. Let him smell it.
Hey guys, welcome back. You know what? This flat, it's been a strain. It's stalled, and now it's about, I don't know, 7 hours into the cook, and now I gotta check the temperature. It's been a pain in my rear end. It was 5 pounds of a flat. All right, here we go.
5 pounds for 15 hours.
God. So let's check the temp. I mean, we obviously have some good, we got some good juice dripping through the paper. That's a ThermoWorks Thermopenitent. It's 203.
Oh,
I'm ready to pull. It's finally pulled out at 2:03 and holy
mackerel
smokes. We got a nice kind of beef here. Oh, it's wet.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's wet.
Do it, Doman. Oh, I heard that.
You hear that squeaker?
Oh.
So I started slicing, and it's just this piece of meat. It's been a struggle.
Let's shake that bend on it, baby.
I mean, it's got. It's like an accordion.
Ooh, that's smoke ring. Can you put it up close to the camera?
You want a smoke ring? Here.
This one's so much better.